and a little bit of
What?
dang tofu. Oh,
We are also going to
this week I thought we would do a week of bougie breakfasts because who doesn't want to up their breakfast game? I always find personally for me that breakfast is my least favorite meal of the day just because I feel like a lot of it relies on like not savory, sweet things, and I'm a savory gal. So I'm always finding different ways. Sorry, my cat is freaking out in the background. But I'm always trying to find different ways to mix it up, find fun recipes. So I thought we would do 5 days of bougie breakfast. Yesterday, I actually roasted some garlic for this soup that I made. And I thought if we slap that on some bread and then some sauteed mushrooms and like butter. And I just thought, wow. Okay, so I already messed up because last night I had the intention to make one of my overnight loaf things, you know, those like huge like rustic kind of loaves that I make, and I completely forgot because I wanted to do it on that nice bread. We do have this nice bakery loaf. It is very fresh. It is very delicious. But this is bougie. I should have made my own bread. So I feel a little bit sad now, but you know, we gotta make do with what we got. So we're gonna cut 2 slices of this bad boy. It's really good bread. Honestly, just good with just butter. All right, so we got our 2 slices of bread, and I think we're not gonna toast them. We're going to pan fry them with a little bit of olive oil to get them crispy. And then what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna saute our mushrooms in a bunch of like butter and garlic, which is gonna be sensational. So now we're gonna add the roasted garlic from yesterday, which smells so good. Oh my goodness. All right, now we're just gonna mush that into the toast. I think when we're going for bougie, it's all about the garnishes. So to garnish on top of the mushroom toast, we're gonna put a little bit of vegan Parmesan and also some parsley, because you know that little bit of extra flair, just like, I put it on soup the other day. It felt so bougie. It felt so bougie.
look that.
Now, I don't think any bougie breakfast is complete without a side. So we got a nice side of luxurious grapes. They're the really good kind that are like crunchy. The best. And then we have a delicious kefir beverage. If you guys ever had Yope as a kid, that like drinkable yogurt, this is a vegan version of it, and it's like a probiotic kefir. It's so amazing. It's incredible. Cheers to the first bougie breakfast. All right, it's the moment of truth. Oh, the roasted garlic, incredible. The mushrooms, incredible. The toast is like perfectly toasted, not too crunchy, not too soft. That's too good. Okay, today, day 2, we are going for a Denver omelet with toast and bacon on the side. I know it doesn't sound like too insanely bougie, but I thought we would do it with some fresh squeezed orange juice as well for like a whole kind of like vibe going on. And the reason I'm kind of obsessed with the Denver omelet is because I saw the show and they just kept talking about it and it just sounded so good. So kind of had a craving for one. Instead of actually juicing these by hand, thought I would put them in the juicer because I feel like I'm gonna get more juice that way. I always feel like hand juicing things, you like get a tablespoon or something, but hopefully we're gonna get a little more juice by actually putting them in the good old juicer. We are also going to be productive queens and prep some juice for tomorrow as well, because I already have the juicer out, and of course I don't want to clean it 2 days in a row. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Did you literally see that first orange just explode everywhere? I didn't put like the thingy on fast enough and it was like jumping. This may be a very sad amount of orange juice, but let's see. So if they put it in a smaller glass, I feel like it would look more impressive, but not terrible. All right, look at that. We got our kind of like sweet beetroot juice one, and we got just our good old celery juice. Okay, now we are on to the star of the show, Denver omelet, which actually doesn't have anything that crazy in it. And now that I've like looked it up, it's got onions, bell pepper, some cheese, some ham, and a little bit of cayenne pepper apparently for like, I guess, a little kick. I don't know how it got its name. Did it Is it from Denver? Was that where it was invented? Probably. It also has very specifically that it only calls for like 2 tablespoons of onion and like 2 tablespoons of bell pepper. So I guess we're gonna follow the recipe so we get the authentic experience. But whenever I make omelets, I just like cut a whole bunch. So I got all the onions and the bell peppers and a little bit of the tofu meat all just sauteing in there. I'm about to pour in the just egg. And then the recipe said to add, I'm gonna add some BioLife cheddar cheese. About a 30 cup. I don't know how much that is. So we're just gonna eyeball it. Got the Denver omelet, which looks amazing. We've got 2 pieces of kind of sad looking tofu bacon because they broke apart. And then there was only 1 slice of that bread left. So I have a little butter and benedict, this is now your breakfast. And Saskatoon berry jam on that, which is really good jam actually. I got it accidentally, but it's really delicious. So let's give this a try. I really taste the Denver in it. I was in the Denver airport once. That's exactly what it tastes like. It's a really good omelet. I don't usually put onions in my omelet because I feel like it's too much extra effort. I usually put maybe like a green onion or something. Bandit really wants to try some. Cheese is another thing I don't usually put in it. It was really good. And now the real moment of truth. We've got the fresh squeezed orange juice. Are you ready? It tastes so much different than store-bought, obviously. But that's really good. It's got a better depth of flavor to it. And it's not like too sweet either. All right, we are back and today we are going to be making a vegan, what's the word? Oh yeah, today we are going to be making a vegan egg benedict type thing. Which sounds pretty good, doesn't it? We're gonna make a little tofu. The tofu is on it. Okay, so I finally managed to get the tofu in the blender, and then I added cornstarch, a bunch of black salt, and other seasonings and stuff, a little bit of oil, and then we're gonna blend it up to make our little eggy. This stuff is so great too because you make like a batch of it, and then it lasts in the fridge for like a week, maybe even a little bit more. So you just use it whenever you need it, you know, like store it in like a jar and just, yeah, use a little bit whenever you need it. It's good stuff. So for the hollandaise sauce, we're gonna start with a little base of tofu because the recipe that I found was just like called for more like silken tofu and stuff that you blend up. But I said, we already got tofu, so why don't we just do it the easy way? So we're gonna mix a little bit of that. It's just a bunch of other kind of things, a little bit of mustard, lemon juice. We've toasted our little English muffins to perfection, and we're gonna add a little bit of veganese on top. This is a really fun part where we get to layer all the good little bits on top. Tempy just running in the background. It's so hilarious. All right, so we're adding some pickled jalapenos on top of the veganese. Did I ever tell you that time, Rowan, where I made pickled jalapenos and then I put contacts in the same day? My eyes literally.
Not wash your hands.
I did multiple times, but obviously there's still like essence on my fingers, and my eyes literally like I put the contact in and then they just started like burning, and then you know you close your eyes because it's burning, and then I couldn't get my contact out. It was so terrible. It was so terrible. I thought I was gonna blind myself.
I mean, you probably could have.
Yeah, with enough juice. Then we got our little tofu eggs. Look how good those look. Don't like sometimes I make like a little, you know, top thing with like some chipotle mayo, or even like a little bit of like just egg or something to make the little things, and I put those on top. Oh wait, no. I fried a little bit of ham, tofurkey kind of like ham. I burned it a little bit, but I wanted to put that under the little eggies. And now for the finale, we're gonna put a little bit of hollandaise sauce on top. And we don't have any like arugula or anything to top, so I'm just gonna top it with a couple of green onions and a little bit of parsley as well. That looks pretty dang fine if you ask me. All right, the moment of truth. We're gonna do it a little taste. I almost feel like it might be easier to just pick it up and take a bite of it, like it's a sandwich or something. So the pickled jalapenos, 10. The smoky sweet like ham thing, 10. The sauce, 10. It all just kind of pairs really well together. Overall, this is like super duper delicious, and not even like that hardcore to like make, like not that much effort, but all of the reward. Okay, today we are going for a spinach feta egg wrap thing. You know the ones from Starbucks? I used to love those. Those were really good. So I thought we would recreate them, and I was gonna make my own tortilla because obviously bougie, but and then I only need one, and I have these bad boys which are spinach too, which is kind of on theme, that are going bad. So I feel like we just got to go with these. So I looked up a copycat recipe to figure out all the different ingredients and stuff, and I also thought we would go along with the theme of like, oh, Starbucks, and I'm gonna make a matcha latte to go along with it, and then it's all just like green coming together. So the recipe calls for sun-dried tomatoes, and I just looked in the fridge and ours are rank, so we're not gonna use those. And to be honest, sun-dried tomatoes are kind of a hit and miss with me, you know, it's got to be at the right place, right time. So I'm just gonna cut up half a tomato. I'll lay it in the sun. No, we'll get the same vibe, you know? We just need that tomatoey essence. You know what I mean? We just need an essence of tomato. So we've hit another roadblock. The feta cheese should be moldy. It's okay though. In the wise words of those British plates, we gotta keep calm and we gotta carry on. But I need to start checking my ingredients before I start cooking stuff. So, plan B is to make a really quick vegan feta with some tofu, because I know people do that. I know it's really good. I love that tofu. The Violife feta is so good, and I'm really sad. I just added in the spinach, and I'm just letting everybody get to know each other in the pan. All right, and then I'm just adding the spinach and tomato onto the cream cheese on the wrap. Now, I'm using just egg as like the egg white part. We don't have to tell anyone it's yellow. I won't tell anyone. You won't tell anyone. All right, we got our tomato and spinach. We got our feta. We got the egg on top. Now we're gonna wrap this boy up and we're gonna panini press them. All right, we're just making the matcha latte now. Give it a little mixy mix. We're gonna pour it over. All right, guys, look at that. Pretty dang beautiful, if I do say so myself. All right, the ultimate test though. Ow. Ooh, it's hot. Maybe I should wait, but I really want to taste that. It's hot. This is fab. It actually tastes pretty dang close to what I remember a Starbucks one tasting like. Like, it's really good. And of course, we have our little matcha. Perfect breakfast. I'm actually so impressed with like the tomato and the feta. The tofu feta is actually like bomb. All right, we are on our last but not least day, and I was stuck between two recipes I wanted to do. These 3-ingredient bagels, which are delicious, and brioche French toast. Now, my heart was with the brioche French toast, but to get up, make it in the morning, let it rise for 2 hours, knead it more, let it rise for another, it was just too much effort, I think, in the morning, even though maybe, I should have maybe like made it the night before and just had it ready. I don't know why I didn't think of that, why I thought I had to make it fresh in the morning. Anyways, we're gonna go with the bagels, and I have this recipe for 3-ingredient bagels that makes 4, but I only really need 1 for me. So I was thinking I could take the ingredients and just kind of hope that I can make 1 singular bagel out of it. So I did a little bit of math, and we're gonna hope for the best. Not to brag, but fractions was my best subject in school. You got your denominators, you got your numerators. Thank you, Rowan. I don't remember anything else. We divide, we multiply, lowest common denominator. Thank you. Yeah, math prodigy over here. Not that I didn't believe in myself, but look, it worked. Perfect little doughboy. Call him Henry. So I'm just going to poke a little hole in Henry, pop him on a baking sheet, and we got ourselves a bagel. I put a little bit of my homemade everything but the bagel seasoning on it. I make like a special one with like nutritional yeast, hemp hearts, chia seeds, all that kind of fun stuff. And that's the oven, so we're gonna go pop Henry in. Wish him good luck. So we're not just having any old bagel, we're also gonna be making carrot smoked salmon to go on top. I haven't made this in a long time, but you basically just shred up a carrot into little thin pieces, and then you boil them with a bunch of like different seasonings to make them taste kind of fishy. It's delicious. It's really, really good. It turned out so well on inside. Still steamy. All right, we got the cream cheese on, and I've got my little carrot smoked salmon, which is Smelling really good, tasted really good. So we got the smoked salmon, and then we've got some green onions, some capers, and a little bit of arugula for, you know, presentation. Like, how good does that look? I cannot wait to take a bite. It looks so good. It's so good. I don't know whoever invented a bagel, but I'd personally like to thank them.